Hey everybody, the purpose of this video is to get you through this margins of error quiz. Just an idea of making sure that you really dial in what it means to have a plus or minus on an inferential statistics poll. So this one here was from early September 2014. Trust in federal government on international issues at new low. And whenever I see new low or record low, like I see right here, I start getting interested because I'm like, oh, really? Okay, well let's see. And they're very nice in this. I've got the link up here. I've got the whole article over here. We'll come back to it. And here's a graph that shows, the rise and fall of trust in federal government. If you're interested in how they're measuring trust, I highly recommend that you read the whole article and find out the questions they used. But it looks like, let's see, 98. So this is back when, let's see, that's Clinton. Clinton's in office. W gets elected. Here's September 11th, somewhere in here, which roughly corresponds to a spike in the trust in America, and then it's pretty much been declining ever since. Looks like a hiccup here. Something happened in almost 2013. What happened then? Obama was elected in 2008, and then re-elected in 2012. That was probably right when he got re-elected, right? The end of 2012. So anyway, whatever. I'm focused more on these numbers at the end, and that's what we're gonna look at today. So first things first. The first thing you have to look at is, it looks like international trust in international issues is at 43%. Trust in domestic issues is at 40%. And at first, you might look back and go, well, 40 is lower than any number in this poll, and 43 is lower than any number on the green line. So since 40 is the lowest light green, and 43 is the lowest dark green, well, they're the lowest numbers. Well, maybe. What I want to look at first is what the margin of error is for the poll. So I gave you the link. I have it right here, and you have to do some scrolling. And it's usually at the very, here it is, down here, very small type, the bottom of the page. And they tell us right here, for results based on the sample of national adults, the margin of sampling error is plus or minus 4 percentage points, which answers the very first question. It contains a plus minus symbol. It's plus or minus 4%. So the next question is, why must we use this margin of error? And the reason is quite simple. The only way to have zero error in whatever number you're reporting is to ask every single member of your population. They did not. You may have noticed they asked 1,117. Now, we'll analyze that number in 244 for sure, and it's good. It's a very, very good number of people to ask. It's not all 310 million, and it sure isn't even all the number of voting age Americans, but it's quite a few, and that's okay for right now. So the reason you have to use your margin of error is, since we didn't ask everybody, there's the chance we didn't get exactly the right percentage. It's probably pretty close, but it's not exactly correct. So what you have to do is actually apply the margin to these sample statistics, since you weren't able to get a parameter. So now let's see how that goes to work. And I put it here in highlighted for you. I applied the 4% to the 43%, which is the trust in international affairs. I subtracted and added 4% to 43, and we got between 39 and 47%, which is a way, way better way of saying it than just 43%. And that range is called a confidence interval. Okay, come on down. I wanted to analyze the headline claims the trust in government is at a new low. Is that right? No. We can't have that, because previous to 43 was 49. And 49 also has a margin of error on it. Now, when you look at the 43, the highest the interval went with 43 was 47. So you're probably saying to yourself, well, even at its worst, 47 is still lower than 49. But you got to remember that 49 probably is not exactly 49. It could be as low as 45 or as high as 53. And that is what I indicated down here for you. So back in the day, in mid-2013, the interval could have stretched from 45% up to 53%. In 2014, it could have stretched from 39% to 47%. And the problem is this: they overlap. There is a chance that even though quite a bit of the red interval is above quite a bit of the green, there still exists the chance that the green parameter could be here and the red parameter could be here. In 244, we'll metric that. But right now, all you can do is put your hands up in the air and say, you know what? I can't make a call on this one. I cannot make a call on this one. So now what I want you to do is do the exact same thing for domestic. So the first thing was, what's the confidence interval? For domestic, it's centered at 40%, but there is the 4% margin of error. So it's between 36% and 44%. So you'd phrase it just like we did here, between 36% and between 36% and 44% of Americans have a great deal or fair amount of trust in the federal government to handle domestic problems. You can copy and paste this right into your document if you wanted to. You could always do that, right? Just copy, copy and paste. Next up, do the same thing for 2014. Oh, excuse me, I just did that for 2014, didn't I? That was 2014. I should now do mid-2013. So mid-2013 would be stuck at 42. So you'd go down to 38 and up to 46. Okay, so now you have two intervals. And then I wanted you to construct, as I did above, these confidence intervals. And I'm going to show you a cool trick here. This is actually kind of fun. It'd be nice to just grab this chart right here and reuse it, and you can totally do that using the snipping tool. So start up your snipping tool, and I've got a video for this on the assessment page of the website, and of course I'd always be happy to help you figure it out yourself. Select, then you can copy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a very fun, I think, program in Microsoft, which is called Paint, which then you can drop your image into, and then you can edit it, which is kind of fun. So we remember that in mid-2013, the interval went, and actually I don't remember, I got to go back and look at it again. In mid-2013, for domestic issues, it went from 38 to 46%. So what I can do is I can get into Paint again and just grab this guy. You're on Select, and I can slide it down so that it starts on 38. Put it right there. Beautiful. And then in 2014, it dropped, I believe, to 40. So it went from 36 to 44. So once again, the two intervals are overlapping, even more so in this case than they were before. And the only reason that it's even more so in this case than they were before is because the 40 and the 42 are closer than the 49 and the 43. So the next question is, what do you think? Do you agree with the headline, America's trust in handling of domestic problems also at a record low? I say no. I don't believe it at all. And it says, why or why not? Well, because you can't say that. You can't say that every element in 2014 is lower than every possible element in 2013. There are places where 2014 is higher than 2013, and that might very well be one location of where the parameter is. So you can't just carte blanche say 40 is lower than 42, so we're done. That's not a correct line of thinking. You can say we can't make the call. It's too close to call. Unfortunately, thanks to Ted Turner and CNN, we can't say that anymore because they've given us 24-hour news and we always have to be talking about something. So I hope this makes sense, and we'll catch you in class.